Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Football Fill-In. It's been a couple of weeks. We have missed you all so much, haven't we, lads?
Of course.
We have.
We had a busy week?
Absolutely.
Busy weekend.
Busy few weeks?
No, I've been feet up for me, mate.
Where were you at the weekend, Watto?
I was at Oxford, Watford Saturday, and yesterday, Crystal Palace, Newcastle.
He just loves football. He just loves football,
He does.
don't
Loves football and money.
Money, yeah. Toze, what about yourself?
Devon Derby, Plymouth Argyle v Exeter.
Green Army!
2-2, and then yesterday, Wrexham Birmingham. Not great.
Disappointing Wrexham were they yesterday?
Was disappointing, yeah.
How were you last night?
What
I'm
about
surprised you graced us with your presence this morning, Ben.
I know, yeah. I feel like it's a little bit beneath me nowadays. I'm like mainstream, big broadcasters, BBC, big setup, big cameras everywhere, green screen.
Tell everyone where you were.
So I did BBC Match of the Day 2 last night. I said to the boys, they said, how was it? I said, honestly, I don't think I've ever been so nervous in my whole entire life, right? We were about to start filming, and I had this, like, jacket on. And
It's called a panic attack, Ben.
I think it might be, genuinely. 4 minutes to air, I heard, and I was like, I'm sweating. I'm sweating. I was like, touched my brow, sweat there, and I was like, oh my God. Just stood up and went, I've got to take this jacket off. And they went, you're all right, just calm down. I went, yeah, I'm all right, calm down. Yeah, okay. And in fairness, after that, it was absolutely fine. But yeah, it was good. Really enjoyed it. Gabby Logan was incredible. Pat Nevin is the loveliest man in the world. He can talk for England, can't he?
What a boy,
Or
Pat.
Scotland.
What a boy. Honestly, for Scotland, sorry, yeah, for Scotland. Anyway, should we get into the weekend's action? It was a good weekend of football. We're going to start with Arsenal.
Was it?
Toze, you're a big Arsenal fan. You're a gooner. You're a gunner. The wheels have fallen off, mate.
They have. Do you know what it is? It is like when Rory McIlroy was leading the Masters by so many shots, 12, 13 years ago?
Yeah.
And he just crumbled. And he just couldn't get his head back together to get to play the golf that
He's
he
gone.
wanted to play. So now, that is what's happening. Everyone's just overthinking everything, mentally, forgotten what they're really good at. Because for me, if I look back at when Arsenal played Man City, months and months and months ago, City was scared.
Yeah.
I actually looked this morning, the stats possession was 67% possession.
What,
They
for Arsenal?
battered them.
Oh, my
And do you remember Pep did something that he never, ever did before? He just he put 5 on, put them all really deep, sat off them. That won't happen next weekend.
Mate, that seems a long time ago,
long
that does,
time
doesn't
ago.
it? To see Arsenal doing that to a team.
I remember thinking at the time Arsenal were going to do them. Do you remember?
Yeah,
you had confidence in.
It ended one each, but at the same time, they battered them in
Yeah,
terms
they
of
were
possession and
the
everything.
dominant foot. I was watching the game and there was a lot said about Raya, wasn't there, Watto?
Yeah.
Just sort of standing on the ball. And I would love to have known how long he actually stood on the ball. But I just think it was easy for Bournemouth. Bournemouth played really well. They're a good team, Bournemouth are. They really are, on the back of, 14 games without a defeat or something like that.
12 in the Prem.
But I just think it made it so easy for them to predict what Arsenal are going to do. They can all push up, get into their little slots, and then Arsenal try playing from there.
Yeah, they're not going to force too much of a press when it's just really easy for him on the ball. It's different if it's really open play and there's a pass that you think you can get after. But they're happy for him to have his foot on the ball because they just man mark everywhere else. And, right, you've got to pick a pass. And ultimately, they're on the jump and ready to go. I think it was a really tough game for Arsenal. Bournemouth have probably not had the credit for the season they've had, if truth be told. But if you're going to win the Premier League, you can't get beat at home. And I think when they get a soft penalty, you think, right, the momentum's come back to them. Can they drive on? And they couldn't move on, to be honest with you. And ultimately, like Gorkarez is saying about the pitch being dry and all this kind of stuff.
I mean,
it's nonsense. I've never seen a pitch.
It's a home pitch.
These pitches in the Premier League now, obviously, I were at Palace yesterday. The water in it, pre-game, after. There can't be any more water. I was getting wet in the bloody stand at Palace yesterday. You can't put more water on it. You know
right. I remember once I said after Wolves game at Watford. Do you remember when I said like the wind took it?
Yeah.
It was a player from Wolves at the time whipped it in, long old ball.
Matt Jarvis?
No. I was
Steve Bull.
Neves.
Ruben
Neves,
yeah.
right? He's played like a 70-yard diag. Diogo Jota's run in, like the wind's kind of all... Oh, I still stick by it, right? He caught it. Anyway, after the game, I've said, the wind took the ball. Mate, I got pilloried for it. I got battered for it. Even to this day, I still get battered for it, right? You cannot come out after you've lost the game and blame it on something like that, can you? You just got to take it, admit that you were beaten by a better team, which I think Bournemouth were, and that's as simple as it is. Isn't
There's
it?
a few things which I find a little bit. I don't want to be like bandwagoning and hammering Arsenal because they've found a way to win and they are still top of the league. However, right? This pitch thing was a bit bizarre. Then in the week, you hear some odd stories of emails going out to fans saying basically trying to rally the fans.
Do you see the thing they did in training?
Yeah.
What on earth are they doing in training?
But why is that coming out? Why is that coming out?
But
Why is it happening?
Their media
But
team
if
have
it's
put that
happening,
out.
it's happening. There's so much. But why is it coming out? The media team. What
that's
are you
what I mean.
doing?
They've put that out there.
You're making a mockery of everything.
It's ridiculous. Could you imagine doing that, Watto?
No, I can't imagine it. Look, I think the whole thing, but it just creates a thing around it. And players, like, whether they agree with what the manager's doing and for whatever reasoning, but you keep all that in-house. As soon as that gets out there, it's just more fluff and more noise for you. I go back to the fact that City beat them. All right, I wouldn't have put Kepa in for that final. I think Raya's been probably the best goalie in the league this season. And ultimately, yes, I understand about competition and all this. He's been so good, you can't have the drop-off. And I think that were a statement. But to give City that momentum by winning that, I think they've grabbed it. And look, you can't go and get beat at Championship Southampton in the
But not only that, it goes and backs it up by playing Kepa in the Southampton game as well.
And they lose that one
For
as
me,
well.
that's a little bit.
Do you know
weak.
what it is, right? I think Kepa's a good goalkeeper, right? But one, there's a drop-off inability-wise, but two, the effect that has on the team, the ripple effect throughout the spine of that team then,
Defenders,
honestly,
for example.
it's massive. You see goalkeepers, you see some of the big goalkeepers come out of teams. What happens at Liverpool when Alisson's not there? They're not the same team. Emi Martinez comes out of Villa, they're not the same team. It affects everybody so much. So just play your best team, and if it does happen at the end of the season and City pip them, I think we can look back to that League Cup final. I really do.
No, that's my take on it, because momentum in sport is something that you can go on every course, but you can't facilitate and grab it when it's there. You want it forever, and when it's not there, you can stand at the side as a manager or a coach, but you can't grab it, you can't switch it back. And it's pivotal moments, and that were a pivotal moment if they don't get over the line. And ultimately, their XG and this in open play is a disaster. But look, the set plays, they do the same set play all the time. Obviously, they're well drilled, quality balls in, and it's tough to defend. But it's not rocket science what they're doing. But their XG in open play for a team that's trying to win the league is nowhere.
That feeds quite nicely into what Yannick Bolasie said then, and he's bang on, isn't he? He was basically saying that stats, you can read them exactly how you want, but if you watch it with the eye test, then the way that Arsenal are playing, their stats are going to be high. They're playing it back to the goalkeeper. They're keeping possession all the time. Wingers not willing to take on the fullbacks. It all just feeds into it not being very attractive to watch.
Let me read out what he put. Raya passing the ball more than Declan Rice or Zubimendi is the strange thing about football today. The players with the least attacking ability touching and passing the most. Of course, your pass rate's going to be 95% if you're always passing backwards and side to side, basically.
That's exactly what it is.
You can manipulate stats however you want, can't you? You can make context of everything. But for me, I listened to Tony Cascarino on TalkSport, and he said about why are Arsenal taking more risks from their own goal, their own box, than they are in the final third.
Top end
They're not taking any risks whatsoever in the final third. Whereas, and I thought that's a great point.
It's true. It should be the other way around. I don't mind my winger failing. But if I know he's going to get in and take his or get a cross in one every 4 or 5 times, mate, I'll take it all day long.
Give him the freedom to do it.
I'll take it all day long.
The other thing is, as well, is you look at. I said to you yesterday, didn't I? Look at the attacking front four that started. You've got Madueke on the right. You've got Havertz as the 10 up front. You've got Gyökeres, and then on the left, Martinelli. And you look at that and you go, is that really an elite kind of level? And then you've got Eze on the bench, and he obviously doesn't trust him.
No.
But you look at the goal with Madueke, he's done exactly what Eze did, I don't know, 3 or 4 months before when he finally got dropped out of the team because they didn't track the runner.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that's the game comes down to the very basics and simplistic things of doing your job properly. But look, this backwards and honestly, I've seen so much football this year, and every match I go to, the opposition fans, when they're getting beat, it's the same song because every team just does the same thing, backwards and sideways, wherever we go. And they just want to see some attacking momentum and have a go at the game. And Arsenal are going to have to let the shackles off. Now, I don't know that they'll not let the shackles off at City next week. Look, it'll be a low block and it'll be counter-attack football and they'll be open.
They can't counter-attack. They just haven't.
But that's what they're going to hope for.
They're talking about when Raya's on the ball, though. They've got no focal point. So Gyökeres, we've always said it.
Yeah.
He can't. His
He's
strength is not holding the game up, holding the ball up. Sorry. And also, you've got Havertz who played in the 10 in the Carabao Cup final. Like, he's playing in the 10 for a different reason. If he's playing with Jesus, it's different. But when he's playing there to almost be hit with a big ball to win the header because no one else is able to do that. So I don't know, they've got no balance.
Talking about letting the shackles off, Watto, we watched the Man City game yesterday, I'm sure everybody else did. They just go for it, mate. They are now in the groove of they work so hard in every aspect of the game. They're getting forward in numbers, they're getting back in numbers, they lose the ball, the trigger's there, everybody goes on. The third goal that they scored, it comes from them just going, right, cheers, you try and play it into that little, we're going to go and swamp you.
Fozzie, let me ask you a question on this, right? So it feels like Arsenal have got a little bit robotic almost, and obviously the set plays. Do you think Pep's loosened the shackles a little bit? Like everyone criticised almost like the Grealish thing and overcoaching, yet he's got Cherky, Semenyo's been allowed to. Do you think he's relaxed that a little bit?
I do. I think he's relaxed it. But what he said is, I can relax it as long as you lot work, right? As long as you put the work in to get forward and get back in numbers. You saw yesterday, like, we're late on in the game and you've got Haaland chasing back and shutting people down. You've got Semenyo chasing back and shutting people down. The work rate off the ball when they lose it was absolutely phenomenal, but they get forward in numbers. But I just think mentally they got into Chelsea's head so much yesterday. It was ridiculous. They had about a 15-minute period from the beginning, Chelsea, where they were kind of doing really well. They were in the game. They had a couple of chances. But then from that moment onwards, oh, my God, City just went, all right, cool, we're going to sit on the halfway line and we're going to dominate it. And Chelsea went, all right, we'll just let you do it then.
But before the game, did you have any other thought process than City were going to win that?
No.
Even though Arsenal had blown up, Chelsea's still trying to get top five. I had no doubt.
The only doubt I had was whether it would be 4-0 or 3-0. I honestly, I said to you, I said, they'll win this 4-0 today. They are flying. They are popping.
You could see it, the freshness in Pep's face after, and he's saying, my players, they're fresh. Yeah. Even everything he's saying.
I think that's what's going to get them over the line. I think the free every week until the end, you know what I mean?
They've just got the FA Cup semi-final.
The FA Cup semi-final is not really a distraction for them.
You can see in months gone by, Pep, how agitated he's been, yet you can see him starting to perform a little bit again now, can't you?
Yes.
Very, very.
Do you know what I mean?
Spitting lessons, isn't it?
Yeah. When he gets that smile back on his face and there's a bit more energy about it, I reckon all them other players think, we prefer this, Pep. Let's just keep doing what we're doing, lads. But even like Haaland, I know he didn't score yesterday, but like I just love seeing him run around and do that, what he was doing. He's an absolute handful.
On the pitch, mate, the first goal, there's two Chelsea guys marking him, and it creates then a situation where there's a mismatch in the middle. And look, the defending's shocking, innit? But because Haaland gets two bodies around him, and they fill the box, they're getting the balls in, you're always going to get the momentum. I mean, you wouldn't want to mark him 1v1, would you, Haaland? It's tough. But when you draw a second man in, it's going to create something somewhere else.
Toze, what would you make of your manager coming out sort of before, during and after games, Liam Rosenior, and saying the kind of things that he's been saying?
I just don't think it fills you with any sort of belief, information, like football terminology.
Do you think the players know this? Do you think they all think, what on earth's he on about?
It's almost like being at school, isn't it? It's just waffle. It literally is just waffle. You're going into class and like, well, what we're going to learn today, and it's like we just talk about everything other than what we're actually going to learn and something that's important. We need to learn something that's important. Football, you need to know everything tactically. You want to see it clearly, but you say it concisely. You'll know better than anyone. When you hold a meeting, you want to get straight to the point, bang, 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 get out. You know, everyone's clear.
It's like he's holding meetings every day, but then there's no outcome out.
It's like you have a meeting before a meeting.
We still don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Well, when the players, like, obviously they've got one sat in the stand. Cucurella could have been sat in the stand as well, couldn't he, for the outbursts. And when they're saying that they really like the previous manager, all this fluff that is coming out with our players not. We said this probably 6 weeks ago. Well, if you're not listening to none of that.
If he does get the bullet, which Toze's hot take was, to be gone by the end of April. If he does get the bullet, I might hire him to run my LinkedIn page.
Oh yeah, you're not wrong.
What do you reckon?
Oh mate,
it'd be really...
To be fair, right? So my hot take was that, and if it was any previous owner manager, he'd be gone by now. He would be.
You're right.
With the current form that they're in.
I think they've won one in the last 7 games now, Chelsea. After getting off to an unbelievable start, 4 in a row.
They have beat Port Vale in the FA Cup.
Yeah, they did Port Vale,
in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing which isn't manager related, but this, I think, does my head in more than anything in football, right? Enzo.
Yeah.
Okay, he's come out flirting with Real Madrid, want to play in Madrid, love Madrid, favourite holiday destination, I love Spanish food, all this stuff or whatever. Don't sign the 8-year contract, right? I think he's contracted till 2033 or something, right? This one thing that annoys me more than anything. If you think you're good enough, if you back yourself,
You've won the World Cup.
Yeah. Don't sign that con. You can't have it both.
All right. Hello, mate. Do you want a new contract? Yes, please. Do you want 4 years? I'd have 5. We'll give you 6 if you want. I'll take 7. Do you want 8? Yeah, I'll take 8. I'll take 50. I don't care. I would sign the longest contract in the world.
Yeah, but be prepared to when you then go.
Mate, honestly, contracts don't mean anything anymore. They really don't. But do you know what? Right? We had this conversation in the car actually the other day, and I said for English players it's maybe a little bit different because there's not many that. You know, don't get me wrong, it'd be fantastic to go and sign for Barcelona or Real Madrid. It really would. But you can still get the same sort of level in England now, can't you? You know, if you're signing for your Man Cities, your Liverpool, you can sign for a real top worldwide team. Whereas these European boys, these South American boys, Real Madrid and Barcelona is the final destination.
Yeah.
It is as simple as that. If ever that chance comes along, and I think the reason why he said it is there must have been some sort of murmuring somewhere. He must have heard something. It is the final destination for him. So I don't agree with it, but I do understand it at least.
Well, don't be. I think the situation is like, don't be
shocked when you get banned.
When the club then turn around and go, no, you ain't going anywhere.
Well, they're trying to get some money back, aren't they? Because they've offered him an 8-year deal. But the problem that City have, and Chelsea, and a lot of teams now, they're giving them the long contracts because they're all up against it with the financial fair play.
Yeah.
To spread it out.
Yeah, I think it's a maximum of 5 years. I think it spreads over anyway.
Yeah.
But it's a bit of a strange one, isn't it?
Like, why'd you ban him for 2 games and one of them's against the best team in the country?
Yeah, I know.
Currently the best team in the country. What are you doing? Yeah, you're missing him out against Port Vale, fair enough, or a little slap on the wrist. But no, we're going to make sure you miss the Man City game. We're going to cut our legs off for the Man City game and give ourselves less chance of winning. And by the way, I'm under pressure. I haven't won in however many games. What are you doing? What are you actually doing?
Pull him, have a quick word, go, don't be a dickhead. Come on.
Well, I'll tell you why they're doing
chill.
it. Because they've not got a manager in situ who's a proper winner. Because if Jose Mourinho were there and the club turned around to him and said, we're banning him for 2 games, he'd say, absolutely.
I need him.
He was kind of saying it was his decision.
Yeah.
So
that's trying to have the authority, isn't it?
Yeah, it's trying to impose.
He was saying, it was my sanction and whatever. The only thing is with Enzo, though, is because they signed him for, 105 million quid, and he's got an 8-year contract, someone's going to have to buy him for...
Well, they're going to have to pay 100 million quid.
They're going to have to pay 100 million quid.
We're going to talk about Spurs in a minute. Toze, have you got a touch like Mark Gahey when the ball comes to you in the box like that? That composure,
absolutely.
That finish, yeah? That's a bit of
you,
you,
yeah? Oldham.
Obviously. You've seen my goal at Oldham.
I haven't.
There were 3,000 people at Oldham, mate. They can't remember that.
That was just behind the stand. That was the Wrexham fans. Right in front of them.
The only clip I ever see from you is the long throw at Wembley you send me every week.
It's a good missile. One trick pony.
I'll tell you what, though, clear the back post, mate. No one else has ever done that.
Fair dues.
Hey?
Fair dues.
Spurs. Messi do that.
Messi can't do that, can he?
No, he can't.
Lads, Spurs officially dropped into the relegation zone this weekend. They're 2 points adrift as well. And I know a lot of people keep saying that it can't, it won't, it can't, it won't. And I think this weekend has finally hammered it home to me that I think they will.
Right. What did you say on BBC Match of the Day last night?
I said that I have been relegated from the Premier League 5 times, or 6, I can't remember, one of them. 5 or 6 times anyway, yeah. So I know what it feels like to be in a relegation dogfight, and it is miserable. And when you are losing week in, week out, and you let in that goal and the wind gets taken out your sails, it just feels like, oh, here we go again, Groundhog Day. And Spurs are right there now, and it is so hard to get out of that rut. It is so hard.
And what couldn't you say on Match of the Day last night? They're crap.
Oh, yeah, they're crap.
Well, I know a few Spurs fans, and it's always optimistic chat, isn't it? But I think even before this weekend, I think they'd resign themselves to knowing that they are virtually done.
Yeah.
And I spoke to 3 or 4 of them, and they just don't see it. They don't believe the players have got the fight. De Zerbi, look, did some great things at Brighton. I spoke to some guys actually who were doing some scouting in France and said Marseille weren't great. He's obviously going to be a better pedigree than the Croatian guy who they brought in that were a disaster. But Spurs at the minute are going to have to get 11 guys on there that really know what it's all about. And it's not about playing pretty patterns and fighting. I don't know what they did the first goal kick yesterday, but I was praying for a Spurs fan that he put the ball down Kingsgate and booted it as far as he can up to Richarlison and get round it, scrap and fight and just show some desire. Because if you're going to play pretty patterns every week, you're going to get picked off.
Do you know what was incredible? Sunderland didn't even press up on Kinski. They let him pass it out, Watto. Honestly, we were watching and go, what are you doing? Surely you just get up there and go, right, we're going to make it really hard for you here, Antonin, to get this ball out from the back. And they didn't. They just chilled. It was incredible. It allowed Kinski. I was actually really buzzing for him, to be fair, because obviously he's had an awful time this last month. I didn't think he'd ever play for Spurs again. But they let him get a foothold in the game. He played a few lovely little passes out. His possession was great, pinging that over people. Took a nice little touch over the bar. Great save just before half-time. But Sunderland were the better team. It's as simple as that. They fought more. They wanted it more. They were more clinical and ruthless in the little moments. Do you know what I mean? Whereas Spurs just didn't really
if
ever
they were still playing, I don't think Spurs
No,
would
they
score.
wouldn't. They just haven't got any kind of clinical endeavour to really do it.
No, they've got no dog about them.
No dog about them.
Whatsoever.
Nothing
Apart
whatsoever.
from Romero, what happened to him? Sorry, I didn't really.
So it was one
had
of them where it didn't need to happen. So Kinski obviously hasn't been playing in the team, and he's a bit. He hasn't got his starting positions drilled down yet, right? So the ball's over the top. Romero's obviously just trying to shepherd it back to him, holding off Brobby, and Kinski's a bit sort of umming and ahhing like that, and he's a bit too far back in his 18-yard box. He should have been just stood on the edge of the 18. He'd have been able to take it. Danger averted. But as it happens, Romero's thinking he needs to clear it. Kinski comes for it eventually, grabs hold of it, runs into him, and then, by all accounts, Romero might have done his knee or something bad anyway like that. And anyway, he goes off the pitch crying, which I just don't think's a great look anyway. If it's your captain, I want my captain to be walking off. In that instance, when you're 1-0 down, your backs are against the wall, just going, boys, come on. Boys, come on, we've got this. But he walks off, obviously he's got the tears in his eyes, and then that was it then for Spurs. There was literally nothing after that.
Watto, what you say, I saw the little kind of smirk across the face there, right? But I, as the kind of fan, I look at it and go, that's your captain of the football club here. This is he is the dog of the team, meant to be. Every young player at the club, every coaching staff, every fan, he's the guy they look to, and he's walking off crying his eyes out.
Well, I just don't think as a footballer it's a good look. Look, in certain moments at the end of a game when you're seeing the fans, you've got knocked out of a final, a semi-final, a World Cup, whatever. There's moments where we're all human beings and emotional. And yes, I'm sure they were upset he were coming off. But when your leader and so-called matriarch really of that team is crying before he comes off at Sunderland, that is not representative.
Sends a message through the team a little bit, doesn't it?
It's not representative.
Who are they looking to? If they don't look to him,
well,
because Xavi Simons was at it afterwards, and I know he's not
Van der Ven was on the floor.
captain.
Yeah, well, that's the big one. I'm going to say, at the end of the game, right, there's still 6 games left, I think, and they're sat on the floor. I'm sure the manager had built it up to be a big game. The players know it's a big game. There's no hiding from that. But the reality is, in football, you have got another chance. But, his body language, and then at the end...
It's just the theatrics.
Exactly.
It's
well, I
just
don't know if they're thinking the fans want to think, oh, well, we've put a shift in, or we're feeling really bad. Because the reality is, there ain't much fight in them, and if they go down, all that team's going anyway.
You get 90 minutes to put a fight in, yeah? You have your chance to fight and to show everybody that you care is in 90 minutes. That's when you do it, not afterwards. Not afterwards.
You
don't
know what
sit
it's
on the
like,
pitch.
though, when the game's finished and you've lost the game and you're in a bit of a dwell of bad performances and it's negative. When you walk in that dressing room, if you could, in that instance, just walk out the tunnel and walk straight out and get in your car and go home, you would.
Yeah, of course.
Because you don't want to sit in there and fester when everyone's just negative and moaning and moping. And
but that's your mentality. That would have been my mentality. That's somebody who just wants to fight and do it properly. I don't get that impression from any of them Spurs players. I get the impression they want to get back in the change room as quickly as they can and put arms around each other and go, oh, we're all in this together, we're struggling.
What you want, and what the fans want to see is they want to see a Conor Gallagher or somebody going round and picking them up off the floor after the game. Come on, get back in. Let's go. Yeah. But they're just very soft, aren't they?
They're soft, and they've got Brighton. Is it Brighton at home next week? And I'll tell you one thing: De Zerbi will want to beat his old team, but that Hurtsler, he's a good manager.
Oh yes.
And he's going to be wanting to put one on him because he managed Brighton before. And that will be. And Spurs, I don't think they've won 2 games at home, have they? What's he say? Spurs have had double the managers than the home wins this year.
Did you know Spurs won 3 of their first 4 league games this Premier League season?
Yeah.
They were top at one point. They beat Man City 2-0, second game of the season. 3 wins out of 4 under Thomas Frank, and everyone's thinking they're going to kill it this season. Oh my God. What a turnaround.
Oh my God. That Brobby up front, he's a handful.
Handful, mate. Yeah.
D-O-double-G. See, that's what I mean. I would so rather have a player like him as opposed to any of those Spurs forwards where they might be technically better, but Mate, give me a dog who's willing to work and do all the ugly stuff, and then when he gets his... I'll give you probably all...
Porro bounced off him. That just
bounced off
sums
him,
it up. And it goes down holding his face. It's not even proper.
He was one of those, we were watching it and he just wanted contact.
He wanted it, yeah. I need contact.
I want to show everyone else.
This episode is brought to you by Expedia. One of the best things about being on holiday is that feeling of total freedom. No alarms, no meetings, no to-do list. Just waking up and doing whatever you want. I have just recently gotten home from a family holiday in Mallorca. It was supposed to be a lovely, chilled week in the sun. The hotel we were staying at, though, had proper bad boy road bikes to hire. So I ended up waking at 6 a.m, getting a couple hours to myself on my bike and back home before the family had even gotten out of bed. Some people like to relax and chill on holiday, and I like to do that too, but I also like to ride my bike. Expedia make these spontaneous moments easier and more affordable with Buy More and Save. No matter when you book multiple items for your trip, flights, hotels, and car rentals, you can save. And if you're a member, you can book one part of your trip first, then add more right up until your last day of travel. It's never too late to save. Book now with Expedia. Savings vary, members only, ATOL protected.
We're going to talk about the relegation dogfight, right? Spurs don't seem to have much fight in them, but the other teams around them actually have got a bit, and that's the reason why I think Spurs are going to go down, because the other teams have got more fight and more ways to win football matches. We'll start with West Ham Friday night game. Mate, it didn't surprise me one little bit.
Look at that stat there, Fozzie. So 18 points from the last 12 games.
West Ham.
Yeah, and this was before the Sunday games, but I think they were tracking for the last 12 games in 7th position, I think, before yesterday's games. So they're hitting form at the right time, aren't they, Watto?
Yeah, look, I mean, for Wolves, look, we've known for a very, very long time that they're going down. They did show a little bit of something, and Edwards has got a tune out of them for sure compared to what were happening before. But for West Ham on a Friday night, it had to be a win to set the tone for the weekend. But look, they started very, very well. Wolves had a couple of moments, but ultimately there were only one winner in that game. And, you know, set pieces were important also in the second phase for the first one. But I didn't feel as though there were any other outcome to that game, to be perfectly honest. And we said at the very early on when Nuno left Forest that we thought Forest would probably be the ones to suffer with what the chairman had done there. But Spurs somehow have kind of fucked it up more than Forest, you know what I mean?
Oh, Nuno wouldn't mind putting them down. Oh, it's Spurs.
Well, I think Nuno's going to be sat on the beach this summer very, very confident.
I think you're right though, Watto. Like, Forest will be probably looking at it going, there is a team that have made more bad decisions than us.
Which you thought would be impossible, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But you look at just even looking at that little sort of picture there of the West Ham team, you know, when you've got a Jared Bowen who might not be the most vocal, but he still carries this bit of aura where everybody will look up to him. You don't need to be the leader by shouting. He does it by his actions. He's the one. He gives 110%, just works and fights and works and fights, and then that raises everybody else's standards.
They've got some quality as well. Castellanos obviously been bought in.
Yeah, done unbelievable.
Pablo assist for the.
Oh my God,
was fantastic. Somerville's been on fire. And then we talk about the kind of tough players, and you've got like Big Tommy Soucek.
Big Tommy Soucek,
right?
You've
got
Big Slabhead Mavropanos.
You feel like you got a chance.
Yeah,
just because they're the right characters,
Mavropanos having a stinker earlier in the season. You thought you'll never see him again, but mate, he's turned it round. Fair dues.
The stadium was having a stinker. Remember how flat it was?
Yeah,
and everyone was saying about how dead it is, and then you watch them now Friday night, and it's bouncing again.
Forest won, Villa won. Our boy Matt Sells. Very good performance, mate.
Yeah,
very good performance.
I obviously got to see your first-class analysis of him last night, you know what I mean? But, I think a massive point. When they went 1-0 down, actually, I feel for them. But I actually thought they were probably the better... I know Villa had the better chances, but I thought that they controlled the game relatively well.
I agree.
And again, we go to the drop-off because Bizot made a good save, actually, with his leg didn't off catch. But I think that Martinez saves the goal.
Yeah, I agree.
And, like, they're the moments, and Forest might, obviously... that point could be very, very big for them in the end. But when you change the goal, I don't know the reasoning for it. obviously weren't on the bench either. So.
He got an injury in the warm-up.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, he got something in the warm-up. And when I heard that, I thought, oh, it's a massive chance for Forest. But I agree with you. They had better chances, Villa, for sure, and he made some unbelievable saves, Sowes did. But Forest, you can just tell they've got a bit about them. They have, so I'm not worried for them. We had the 4 screens on yesterday. Spurs by far the worst, by far, I promise you. And then you've got Forest digging away, really digging away. And they're a good team, Villa, so it's a big
I think
old
they've
point.
got Burnley next as well, Forest. I mean, if they get
3 points there.
3 points there, that probably would be enough. You know?
Do you think Villa are going to kind of just keep dropping a little bit, Toze?
I'm just thinking about who's going to finish in top 4, really. It's quite interesting, isn't it? With Man U playing tonight, and you've got Liverpool who don't really look great. I know they beat Fulham convincingly, and then you've got Chelsea who don't look like they've got the fight to do it. Bournemouth are coming up, Brentford are coming up. Like, you know, it's interesting.
Ollie Watkins had a couple of chances yesterday where,
Mate.
just looking forward to the World Cup, I just pray to God that Harry Kane stays fit. I really do, because there were a couple of chances that Harry Kane scores yesterday. If he's that striker, they're goals. It's as simple as that. He just puts them in the back of the net.
The one, it was the last chance I saw, and it might have bobbled a little bit, but he comes across. It's a good run he's got across him. It's just a side foot, and he puts it to Sell's left hand. It's in the goal. It's that quick, and he just tries to hit it as hard as he can, and he smashes it straight over the middle of the bar.
But Villa just haven't scored enough goals. I think they've scored the least. There's one team that have scored less than them in the top half of the season. Watkins has got 9. I think Rodgers is 7 or 8, and then I think it's Buendia on 5. So they've just not scored enough goals.
I think they'll get it though. I think they'll finish 4th.
Yeah,
but they'll crawl over the line. I think.
Do you reckon?
I think they will.
I don't know.
I think they've got decent fixtures. I think they've got Sunderland at home next.
5, isn't it, this year?
Yeah.
Possibly 6.
Yeah.
Possibly.
How does that work out then?
Apparently, if Villa win in the Europa, and who else is in the Europa? Palace, if they win something, I think something. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know.
So Brentford, Everton, or Brighton potentially.
Look how tight it is, right?
Could
You go all the way
Champions
down to like Fulham, and even Palace. Palace have got a game
Newcastle.
in hand. Yeah, Palace win their game in hand. They're going for 45. There's 4 points difference between what 6th really. 6th and 14th is ridiculously tight. It really is.
6 points from what? Newcastle in what? 14th to Chelsea?
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
Wow.
But look at Chelsea's form, though. That's the worrying thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Do you know what? All of these teams, right, in that little mini league there, from like Chelsea down, basically, every club where they finish at the end of the season, you get more money the higher you finish up, and owners and all them guys, shareholders, they're massive on it, you know. They're massive on you finishing as high as you possibly can, just for the confidence to go into next season. But each position's like 2 mil. Right?
That last day of the season, when it's as tight as that, if it stays like that, it'll be huge.
But the other thing is as well, though, teams like Chelsea, the players and the coaching staff aren't going to be incentivised if they make it into Europe, are they?
Yeah.
But you can bet your bottom dollar that a Brentford, if they were to hit a Champions League space or an Everton,
massive.
It almost gives the player, going back to Enzo, it almost gives the player an excuse to go, oh, we're not in Champions League, I need to be playing Champions League football.
Exactly what it does.
So it's almost like, you know, oh, hang on a sec. Cleverly thinking, that might be, you know, coming into their subconscious.
We've got 3 more games to go. Quickly, lads, we've got the quiz at the end as usual. Should we do a little prediction for tonight's game? Man United versus Leeds. Is it Leeds United or Man United Leeds?
Man United.
Man United Leeds. What are we saying for this one? Toze?
1 each.
I'm going to go 1 each, so I will say 2 apiece.
3-0 United.
2-1 United. It'll be a good game this tonight.
It will be a good game.
Leeds will go for Leeds really raise it for Man United. They always
Bit
do.
of needle, isn't it? Yeah.
Bit of needle, mate. These are games we like, these are.
Who's the manager of the... Have a look at the Premier League table again, Jay. So I think it's very hard to make an argument that whoever wins the Premier League is going to win the manager of the season.
No, I disagree. I don't like that. I don't ever think that... There's certain times if you absolutely blow it, you're manager. But I think it should always go to that team who have surprised everybody the most.
So based on that then, who would you say?
Keith Andrews, Brentford.
Wait there a second. They weren't in a relegation fight last year. Everton were.
Yeah, but they lost all their best players in the summer. Their manager went last minute.
No experience. Manager's come in with no
and he's come in, no experience. He's a set-piece coach, and he has taken that team and turned them into a proper force. Igor Thiago is an absolute joke. Second highest goal scorer in the Premier League.
He's off in the summer.
Brazil number 9. He's going to the World Cup.
He made his debut for Brazil.
Yeah.
Scored.
Incredible. I think it's Keith Andrews without a doubt.
Watto?
I would concur. That's who I was going to say for sure. The only other one I would put in that mix is the Sunderland manager.
Yes, great
Really?
shout. Yeah,
Yeah.
great
If the
shout.
season stopped right now, I'd give it to Keith Andrews, definitely. If not Moise.
Yeah.
Moise has had a fantastic season as well, hasn't he, to be fair?
He's done brilliantly, hasn't he?
Yeah, he really has, yeah.
Because they often say, don't they, with anything in life, don't go back.
Yeah.
But he's got the experience, hasn't he?
Yes.
He knows the league inside out, and I think that's why Keith Andrews, for his first job, the Sunderland guy, what's his
Reggie
name?
Labrie.
Reggie Labrie,
Yeah.
I think for him, doing what he's done in his first season in the Premier League,
Very
also
impressive.
very, very impressive. But Moyes is always in and around it, and his experience tells. But I think the other two guys with, no Premier League experience as managers, I think they deserve to be getting an award.
Right, come on, let's go through the last couple of games then. Like I say, Brentford and Everton, talking about two teams with fantastic managers. Kelleher in this game, Watto, made a ridiculous double save. Do you see it? And then he went and blew the whistle for offside. I'm thinking, come on!
But it don't matter, mate. If I were
agree.
your coach and I were doing a reel at the end of the season, it's in. I don't give a
Mate,
fuck.
it's
that
first
the
one
flag-
as well. It's the we start with
Yeah,
that
the
one. We
first
start with
one.
that double save. There's a thing of beauty.
Cut it off just for the reference.
Yeah, you forget all. Look, he doesn't know it, does he?
No.
And all the work that you do on the training ground is for that one moment. And whether the flag goes up, don't go up, or VAR intervene, it does not matter because it's the work that you've put in. It was phenomenal.
Do you know what I love about Queven Kelleher? He just looks so bothered all the time. He's just made one of the best double saves you'll see this season, right? And he just sort of gets up to say, yeah,
It's calm.
just doing my job. innit?
He's super calm.
Honestly, just doing my job, mate. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
No.
Don't worry about it. They let the goal in the last minute. KDH equaliser. It's fine.
That's the
mate.
one
It
thing
is what it is,
in
isn't it?
sport
It is
that
what
you
it is.
can't, because he had that moment, and I've watched this goal, the equaliser, Dewsbury Hall, probably 6 times. There's 2 defenders miss it by a
Yeah, I know.
there, and he can't see it, and it goes through him by. How that ball has gone
You
in
could
the
try
goal.
that 99 more times,
Mate,
you'd not find that gap.
It's impossible,
Yeah,
isn't
I
it?
know.
It cannot go in the goal.
Mate, it happens all the time. You see it,
I
we
know,
see it.
I know.
As goalies, right?
Oh, my God.
You come and spread yourself, and you will make a ball-sized hole there, and that is the only size hole anywhere on this whole area, and it will somehow still find its way to go through
Mate,
there.
I can't believe it's still gone in. I keep watching it. Surely that can't go in the goal.
He missed it by a box.
It is, though. It's so annoying.
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Do you think...
That's all I heard in that whole conversation, by the way. I didn't have any of what you just said.
That's why I've never been invited on Match of the Day.
I think it might be, mate. But Sunday's your day as well.
Oh, yeah, you ain't giving up a Sunday, mate.
No. Well, I give one up yesterday because I went to Palace.
Yeah.
Should we talk about Palace then?
Yes.
Good little segue, that. I like it.
that's nice, yeah.
Palace, it was a bit of a smash and grab, wasn't it, Watto?
Do you know what? I was really disappointed in Newcastle. Palace played Thursday night. Obviously, massive win for him. And, yeah, he made a couple of changes in the team. But Newcastle were very, very passive.
Yeah.
And I know they went 1-0 up, but they were very, very passive in the game. And I think you make a statement as an away team, especially to a team that played Thursday night. The atmosphere were flat. Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock kick-off. And Newcastle just allowed the game to drift into...
fritter away from
it became
them,
a
yeah.
counter-attacking match. And then, ultimately, they were better in terms of the shape, Palace. And Murphy ended up having to really help Livramento on the right-hand side because Mitchell, the left wing-back's right up there, and Livramento's going inside. So Newcastle, they were never on the front foot and jump. But I will say that at that point, they've gone in 1-0, and Eddie, I wouldn't have been believing it, you know what I mean? They're right, because Palace had a couple of decent chances. They've gone 1-0, but they didn't try and win. I know they had one chance when Palace had a bad pass, and Henderson made a decent save, but they never really went for the kill. And then all of a sudden...
The big man comes on.
Honestly, like Strand Larsen, it were a pub player's performance. And then they put Mateta on, Sarr on, and Wharton comes on, and you're thinking, right, they mean business here.
Proper players,
And
these.
Proper players.
Yeah.
And Newcastle just couldn't live with it. And look, it's a soft penalty, innit? It's stupid. If you're the centre-half, I mean, Eddie Howe will be going mad. But I just thought they didn't impose themselves enough on the game to really go and stamp their authority and win it. Because Palace were there for the beating.
It's unusual, isn't it? Because Newcastle have been quite toothless in that sense, really, this year, where they normally would have their press would be like unbelievable.
I know, yeah, that trio of midfielders, it's just not there, is it?
No, it seems like something's missing, doesn't it?
I think they're in a little bit of an awkward position because obviously they bought Voltemade for an awful lot of money. When he came on, he just looked he looked miles off it. He had one chance, you remember, when Harvey Barnes cut down the left, and he kind of looking up to see where Voltemada is. Yeah. And I don't think even Voltemada knew what to do in that moment. He's so rusty with it. He didn't know whether to just sort of drift back into that space, who's got more time, or then go into... And they both kind of got caught with each other, where I think if you've got two players, a winger and a striker, who are playing together week in, mate, that's just a goal. It's as simple as that. It's a cutback goal, simple as that.
What about Eddie Howe there, Ben? So... We looked at the table. I think they're 6 points off Champions League, but they're 14th.
They're just so inconsistent.
Is his head on the block, Eddie Howe?
The reason why his head's on the block is because they've dropped 25 points from winning positions this season, Newcastle, right? Which is a league high. If you add that 25 points onto their
even
points
half
total,
of it,
mate, if you put the full 25 on, they're 3 points behind Arsenal. Honestly, it's ridiculous.
No, but like you said, if you give them half, mate, they're in the Champions League spot.
Champions League spot. But this is what gets into fans' heads more than anything. When you keep letting Leeds slip, it really aggravates fans.
I'll tell you the biggest one as well, losing the derby. Both
massive.
Well,
massively.
Like, I walked around the stadium because I took Ethan with me, and obviously we walked past the Newcastle buses. They were just parking up at the side of the Newcastle fans, and I think that's the feel that's put him under the biggest pressure, because they've not had a derby for a long time, and the fans still can't let that go a little bit. And obviously Newcastle has always filled their end, fantastic support. And I think they just wanted a bit more from their team, you know. And I do think that Mateta coming on, because Larson didn't create nothing. Henderson pinged a couple of long ones up to him, and it was like, oh, yeah, that's easy. So then Palace played short again, because Newcastle weren't real full press. But as soon as Henderson got it and Mateta come on, he put the first long one up there, and then Newcastle went back for 15 yards. Because Mateta's in charge. So you go back to the fact we talk about Spurs. Well, if Mateta were in Spurs' team and Sunderland had a bit different afternoon, it changes the whole dynamic of how you're going to play. But they haven't got that. But he's still the main man. To be fair, there were a little bit of grumbling when he put him on, because of obviously he wanted to leave in January. But when he comes on and scores 2 goals and you win the game, fans are going to.
He's been brilliant. He's been brilliant for him, hasn't he?
But he's got a real attitude. I watched. He was warming up in front of us, and he's just got a real way about it.
He's got a presence, hasn't he?
Yeah, and I think you would embrace it as a teammate, a fan of. You know,
it's the way he puts his arm around people.
So is he good enough to take the step up? Or we've spoke about it earlier in the season, where would really have him?
I think he can go again, but the question that needs answering is where. Because he wouldn't suit on the eye to go and play up front for Liverpool.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Newcastle.
It's a misconception.
Newcastle, maybe.
It's a football snobbery, Watto.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
He's the sort of striker that would take you so far, but then when teams start showing you loads of respect, a bit like Gyökeres, where the ball can't go in and stick all the time. Is he good enough to do that and have that link?
It's a bit like Brobby at Sunderland. Like, the conception is that he's probably not got the ability to really play for one of the top teams. I'd rather have him in my team all day long. Give me that little dog, that little workhorse.
And Eddie Howe then. So I think it's really curious with Eddie Howe, because I think his future lies on who signed the players. So you've got Visser was what, 50, 60?
Yeah.
Voltemada was 65?
Yeah.
Alanga 50, something like that. So we're talking the best part of 180, 200 million quid there. Yeah. Now, if Eddie Howe has gone, I want these guys, I think Eddie Howe potentially
he's under pressure
go.
Because one of the directors or whoever it was said last week, didn't they? A couple of weeks ago, they asked him, what's your stance on Eddie Howe? And he said, I haven't really got a stance. And it's like, unless you're saying, no, he's our manager and we love him, then every other answer is wrong.
But if they weren't Eddie Howe's signings, then Eddie Howe's got every right to turn around and go, no, you've bought me in these players that haven't been
But he's going to have to sell out, because at the minute, people think they are his players. Because Ross Wilson, who I saw yesterday at the game, obviously is coming as director of football from Forest now, or whatever his title is. But he wasn't there at the start of the season. He's coming halfway through. So Eddie Howe and whoever, at that point, have signed these players. And you certainly might not be happy with all of them, but there's some of them that you're giving the green light to. You know what I mean? And he made 6 or 7 changes for that game yesterday. And the ones who came on to replace the guys who got beat in the derby still didn't stand up for him.
Final game, this kid here is 17 years old, and he is an absolute joy to watch. Does not care about his stats. He is doing everything that he wants to do. He gets the ball he stands his player up, he gets onto his
17.
right foot, and he's whipping, and he just keeps going, and he keeps going, and that's the beauty of football, isn't
That's
it?
the beauty. That'd have done
Lovely.
That'd have done your hips in.
It would have done
Watching it.
So we're talking about Rio and Gamoa here, yeah?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Rio and Gamoa. Yeah, Toze was getting sore hips and knees from watching this game, by the way. But it's lovely to see, though, isn't it? Like I say,
mate,
in a
that's
world where we are watching a bit of stagnant, stale football at times, these young kids that are
Well,
coming
what did
through.
you say about Spurs? Arsenal, sorry.
Yeah,
That's
exactly
why
that.
Dauman,
Yeah.
the players, fans and everything love him. Go in the final third
Fearless.
and go and express yourself.
Fearless.
Don't want the ball on the edge of your box. Go up that end and show them what you can do. And
Give
he
him
did that.
freedom, yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to see Salah get a goal as well.
It was
What about
lovely.
the relief from the
Mate,
fans.
fantastic finish as well.
Yeah.
That, you know.
That's
First
finish, wasn't it?
time, boom, into there, bubbling into you.
Yeah,
Lovely little goal, wasn't it? Yeah.
Slot, how would you review this season so far, Ben? And do you think he'll be there next season?
I think he will be there next season. I think he's been very unlucky that they're in a position, Liverpool, of massive, massive transition. Andy Robertson's just announced he's leaving. Salah's going at the end of the season. Players are getting a little bit older, and they are very much in a period where that team will completely change next season. It really will. A lot was said about signings in the summer, and they spent an awful lot of money, and that has been a big, well, not shambles, because I still think a lot of them will come good, but they've been unfortunate with injuries, and I just think it was all going to come to this. We just didn't know when. Probably came a bit sooner than what people thought.
It's a transition season.
It's a massive transition season. Yeah, massive. They just need Champions League. They just need to get Champions League this season. As simple as that.
Quiz?
Quiz?
Quiz.
Quiz?
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Football Filling Quiz. Lads, it feels like this has been a long time since we've done a quiz.
it's been a while,
yeah.
hasn't it?
It has been, mate. It has
Yeah.
been.
Back together.
And we've also left the Fozcast sort of audience on a cliffhanger from the Crouchy episode. Can you remember the question that Peter Crouch said to the whole audience?
Which player has been...
So it was, which player has lost an FA Cup final, a League Cup final and a Champions League final with 3 different teams and hasn't won any of them?
That's unreal.
So that was the question, and
That's the unluckiest player in the world, by the way.
yeah, and like loads of people in the comments were like, you didn't even say the answer. Didn't say the answer.
Did somebody get the answer in the comments?
So a couple of people did, yeah, and the answer is John Carew. So
Wow.
it was
Was that Valencia?
League Cup with Villa, FA Cup with Stoke, and Champions League with Valencia.
Wow, that's good.
But there's a caveat. People were also chucking another player in there, and someone has done 4 things. So they lost the League Cup, lost the FA Cup, the Champions League, and the Europa League.
Oh,
Go on.
The answer is Lukaku. And he's never won any of them either.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That is a mazza.
Yeah. So
Big
yeah.
Rum and Big John.
He's had £400 million worth of transfer fees there.
No, I'm sure he sleeps at night all right, to be fair. I don't think he
can't
wants
buy a medal though, can you?
Yeah.
Soft pillow.
silky pillow. He won't worry too
Can't buy
much.
that memory, can you?
You can, eh?
Good.
There we go. Should we get into it then?
Let's go.
Get into it, Jiminy.
Scores on doors. Tom, you're on 10. Ben, you're on 9. Toze, you're on 6. And Watto, you are on 5.
Thanks so much, Jamie. I've told you to stop doing that.
Just
Gets in your head straight away.
Right, question 1. Roberto Martinez's first managerial job
Wigan.
was at what club? Not Wigan.
Swansea.
Swansea's the correct answer. Well done,
It's too
Toze.
obvious.
Why don't I just say it? Yeah. Why
We're
don't
both
I just
looking at each
say
other
it?
thinking
Yeah.
the same thing.
Wigan.
He went to Wigan after.
Swansea.
Wasn't that the question that Benty got right last
I feel
last
like it
week?
was.
Well, I'm sure that was the winning question.
Are these last week's questions?
I'm sure that was the answer that Benty got right.
We'll let it slide for that one. Cause it's
But
one-
Toze weren't here anyway, so.
Yeah, but the crowd at home are going to be fuming.
He was there.
Was that the final question? You
I think it was, yeah.
can't start with that.
All right, we'll start again then.
Oh, yes, you didn't have a point.
and you
We'll start again. We'll start again.
Can't start
We'll
with
start
that.
again.
Oh,
Don't
no.
go absolutely fucking
We
wild.
got it wrong anyway.
Okay,
You said it was a carry-on from last episode.
Right, come on, like, do that again. Come on.
question 1.
Right, go on then, go.
He can't go anywhere, so I can.
Yeah, go.
Apologies. Question 1. What Czech Republican player left Liverpool for Aston Villa in
Patrick
2005?
Barnes.
Milan Barros is the correct
Why
answer.
did I say Patrick
Well
Barnes?
done. Question
He did
2.
play for both, but it was the other way around, wasn't it?
In the 2000/01 season, what manager was in charge of Coventry team
Stratton.
who were relegated from the Premier League? Yes, correct answer. Well done.
Are you alright?
Mate, there's something
It's
going on
thrown
in
me
the
off
brain.
that
What's
first
up with him
question.
today?
Have you not
Hang
had
on.
your Marmite
Like to
eggs?
say, Gordon Strachan.
Yes,
Could be
Gordon
Michaela.
Strachan. Question.
Hey, there's been a woman first
Union Berlin, isn't it?
Union
Yeah.
Berlin.
Yeah, there you go.
Five games to save them.
Love it.
She's been given the job. She's taking the women's team at the start of next season, but they've given her the responsibility to
that.
keep them in the league.
love
That is amazing.
Very good.
Anyway, do I get a point for that?
You do. No,
Thank you.
no, you
I
don't.
can't believe
Not
you
for
got that. Stuff struck it.
Yeah. I could have swore it was Michaela.
Talk
Question.
about Michaela.
Question 3. Shay Given ended his career at what club?
Villa.
No,
Man City.
not Man City. No, you're both out. Just you, Watto. Shay Given ended his career at what club?
I've got it.
He went somewhere
5,
after Villa.
4.
That 40-year contract.
2.
Stoke.
Stoke's the correct answer, Watto. Well done.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
Good.
Played like 16 games.
Just have to get there in the end. You know what I mean?
See what happens when you don't have 12 bottles of red wine on a Sunday?
I know. That's 10 hours with graft yesterday. It's
Both of you
it's
got that
over.
'cause he'd have got the answer otherwise.
Did you know that?
2-1
He's gonna
now.
say yes, isn't he?
2-1-0-0, correct. Question 4. Matt Targett's permanent contract is currently under what club?
Newcastle.
Newcastle's the correct answer. Well done, Ben. Question 6. Bobby.
Oh, I'd love to punch your face.
I don't know what it is. It's just something about your face.
Question 5. Bobby Zamora played his first Premier League game
Brighton.
for what club?
Oh my
Not
gosh,
Brighton.
Fulham.
Not
QPR.
Fulham. Not QPR. Bobby Zamora played his first Premier League game for what club?
Count him down.
Tottenham. No, not yet. That's the yellow card, Ben, that is. And Tottenham is the correct answer. Well done. Scores are
2-2-1.
You want 0?
question 6. Garmin sponsored what team in
Southampton.
Oh, get out of here.
Southampton?
Get out of here.
It's the incorrect answer.
Middlesbrough.
Middlesbrough's the correct answer. Well done, Watto.
I'm so glad it's not their answer.
The answer is Garmin sponsored what team in
buzzing off.
2007-08 Premier League season? So you got the wrong season.
That was brilliant.
Middlesbrough.
You see that? My
Suck
favourite
two of
question.
them in.
Yeah,
Suck
they did.
two of them in
Teasing.
perfectly.
My favourite questions then when you
Yeah.
just get us to go. Whoop.
Yeah.
Well done.
Oh, perfect, Jay. I love
Well
that.
done,
Love you,
Watto.
Garmin.
Yeah,
Love you,
well
Garmin.
done, Jay.
What was your sleep score last night, even though we got home at 3 a.m. in the morning?
4 hours 44, 59 sleep score.
Do you think now I've got that question right, Garmin might send me one?
I'm sure we've already got you about 3 already.
HRV
You
status.
just don't want it because you're showing that one off, that's all.
HRV status
Son, I got a root boy.
in the red.
Oh, it's not good. It's not good.
Hey,
saying?
I see all the
Masters.
golfers.
I'm gonna be ill
The Masters,
soon.
the green one.
You are going
Is
to
that
be
what
ill soon.
What's yours
Yeah.
saying?
Yours
Oh,
is
you're-
bottom of red, by the way.
Mate,
You're
I know.
HRV. You're about to get ill.
And I'm still higher than yours.
Sleep score 48, 3 hours and 58.
6 hours 36, 82.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's that?
Masters.
What's yours say?
About 25 grand.
It says I can't look at it, it's
Keep
too
living
bright.
the dream, it says.
Watto says.
That's working Sundays.
Watto says wealth.
Question 7.
Question 7. Ilkay Gundogan currently plays for what team?
Dortmund.
Dortmund.
Not Dortmund.
Oh, what am I doing?
Ilkay Gundogan currently plays for what team?
I don't know where he went. Leverkusen?
Not Leverkusen. 5,
Pardon?
4,
Yeah, card.
3, 2, 1. You're all out. All back in.
Galatasaray.
Galatasaray is the correct answer,
I'm
Watto.
trying to think. It's rubbish if they played against them the other
He's
week.
flying.
Love it,
I can't
Watto.
believe
Let's
I've
get
come.
you-
Wow.
Watto's on fire.
Is that what I'm on 3?
4.
What?
Watto's a 4.
I need to get a couple answers to what wins.
So if you get a 0, what do you have to still do the dance?
Yeah, you have to get your knob out.
Camera, zoom in.
Question 8 is a career path question. I have played for Bournemouth, Dorchester Town alone, Burnley, Liverpool,
Ings.
Southampton. Danny Ings is the correct answer. Well done, Watto.
He
He's on
scored at
fire.
the weekend as well, Ings did.
Yeah.
Tiny little fish.
Sheffield United.
5?
Watto!
This is unheard of.
Well done, Watto. Question 9. Roy Carroll played his last Premier League for what
Derby.
club? Derby's the correct answer in
good.
2007.
Very good.
Good, Tom.
And question 10.
What's the score?
3,
Done.
5,
Damage is done.
Oh, is it
0.
over?
Yeah,
One. It's over. What has won?
Don't be surprised.
What has won the quiz?
I've been so calm today,
Yeah,
man.
I've been
So
brilliant.
calm today.
On fire today, Watto. I don't begrudge it here.
Me neither.
Question 10.
They'll not believe it today. The punters are not going to believe it
You've
today.
never seen anything like it in your life. Drink it in.
Can't get 6.
I can.
Or he can.
Oh, you can. What manager got Norwich promoted in the 2014-15 season
Neil.
to get them to the Premier League? Alex Neil was the
I
correct
think Watto
answer.
got that.
I can't.
What? He's even giving points away. He just take
Did you
it.
want to give it to him?
Yeah.
we'll give
Watto
it-
was there.
Yeah.
He was there at the
Watto
time.
was
Yeah.
absolutely.
I weren't there.
What a load of
Hey,
rubbish.
sometimes you
Never
get
worked with
goalkeeper
Alex
questions,
Neil.
sometimes you get United questions, could get Watford, Wrexham questions. So
I've produced
Wolves
Garmin,
questions,
or get
We
Garmin
never have
questions.
Wolves
Garmin
Don't know the answer
questions. You
to.
see what I mean? So well, so-
Thank you so much, Chris.
Never ever ask me about Plymouth.
Thank
Yeah.
you so
Ever.
much.
maybe next week.
0405
Love it,
season.
Tom.
Well done.
Well done, boys.
Well done, Jay.
Well done, well done,
Brilliant,
well done.
Good work, team.
Watto, brilliant, mate.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Say goodbye to everybody, Jamie.
See you later, my friends. No, that camera.
See you, boys and girls.